still here, 47 years. Wow. A lot of you, we've had employee changes over the years, a few steady ones. Kurt, a lot of you remember, has been with me since 82, 83, when we started selling out of the driveway in 84. That's when we started the large amount of sales. Over 40,000 machines now. So it's a lot of games out the door. But I have a crew here and also in the audience, Chuck, Frank, this is Scott and Tony, and then we have Crystal and John, and also my daughter Terry and Greg, right there. They all assist, volunteer, help. I pay them meagerly, whatever, but we have fun. We pay with coffee and donuts.
I was going to say, I don't get paid, I'm sorry.
I couldn't afford Chuck. He's a very high-priced lawyer.
And for the record, I bought the coffee.
Yeah, yes, you did.
That's right, he did. But I treated to the burgers.
That's true, you did.
I did. We had burgers today. We thought we would do with this show is go something through the years, how things have changed. I'm not sure. Is this microphone or this one? Are both?
They're both on.
Both on. Okay. I think I prefer that than not my face. I want to be able to people to be able to see my face. I could actually. I've got my little box with the clips that Jillian set up. Over the years, things have changed. There's been sales started back in the 80s. I used to mail out lists of games for sale that we had in our warehouse. Jillian actually has some old flyers, I think. I'm not sure how well we'll be able to see them. Is that something you could key? The pinball sheet? Pardon?
Look at that. Dude. Wow.
Well, we used to send out. Can you make it full screen by any chance? This is one of the flyers we used to mail out. They were booklets of 4 pages. Then we went to 8 pages. We found 8 pages. So would ship with 1 stamp. And we would mail these to people who called after watching our TV show. So this is 1991, I think it's 91. You can clearly see that. Can you zoom in any more, Jillian? We're just going to show this for a minute, but this is the page of just pinball machines. I actually had these in my warehouse. I had every single one of these. However, we only produced this every 6 months or so, so we had a fall and a spring, so we would sell some and get more in. But there's the $6 Million Man, $5.99. Solar Ride, $5.99. But to give you an idea, Strange Science, that was a big one, $12.99, because Strange Science was only like 5 years old. And the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Daddy's top right, $34.99. That's when it was basically.
Funhouse was still a big buyer back then. Funhouse was $31.99.
Yeah. Because that's the year it came out, 1990. It was about a year old.
An 8-ball deluxe, 900.
I was gonna say 8-ball deluxe, $8.99.
Who knows how you have one of these games? And we had, I guess, about 10,000 square foot of warehouse.
For the record, I bought one for 2,000 last year.
We have them everywhere. We actually have, if you watch our videos, you can see we're piled high with games. We wish, we could buy things at these prices, but back then the sales for a lot of these machines by the distributors, they had warehouses full of games that nobody wanted, basically. And at some point, we ended up throwing a few off the roof because there was, there were a lot of them. They were all over the place. I brought Terry and Tammy up amongst pinball machines. That goes into the 90s. So Tammy was 96 and Terry was 99, and they grew up around all kinds of pinball machines. And we had a lot of fun, and then we accumulated a staff of people that would come. Greg, for instance, has really a great job, but he loves fiddling around with these machines. And he just figured out what was wrong with an Allied Leisure Hearts and Spades. With basically a meter. So figured out all these old chips were actually blown, and we ended up having a drawer full of them next door in our warehouse. So he was able to get the game up and running, which was kind of neat. And this is without an oscilloscope, just a meter. So a lot of the old stuff you can fix. And Greg also does surface mount, which is wonderful because he's been fixing some of our surface mount stuff. He has the equipment and he's able to do that. So that's really helped. But there's a lot of aspects to these older games, and that's what we featured in a lot of these clips. Basically, we walked around the warehouse and the showroom, and we spotted different things. And I said, you know what, let's make a film about it and see. Now, for instance, this one, Scott is here. Actually, let me see if I can get Scott. Scott?
Yes.
Oh, wrong Scott. Let me
The other
see.
one. Oh, the other one.
Oh, the other one.
The other Scott.
I was trying to fill in for the
The Stream Deck's not working.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's why I was
no.
saying what.
That's why the screen is it looks that way.
You realize it would not be a TNT production unless we had technical difficulties, right?
Well, we're lucky to have Jillian here to help out.
Right, because usually we're just fumbling around with a live broadcast on Friday nights or some of the videos we do over the weekend, and we have no idea how to figure
Well,
it out.
remember, my broadcast is still free. I don't charge for
Todd,
anything.
speaking of free, while we're sorting this out,
Is this the
our
clip you wanted,
friends.
Todd?
Yes, there's Scott. Hey, Scott.
Oh, the other Scott.
Yes, Scott is cleaning with a product called Gojo. And we've been using this for years. What do you think of Gojo?
As far as I know, as long as I've been here.
Yep, a long time, Scott. And it does a good job. When he works on these, he's able to, careful. This machine came in for a cleanup. We had sold it. It has my 19-year sticker on it. And he didn't want anything else done to it. He wanted it, quote-unquote, cleaned up. So that's just what we're doing. And Gojo takes all this crud right off. This is, Scott, I'm trying to remember, what was the stuff that you use again? I know he uses something that's not the new formula. What is it?
Make sure you get it without pumice.
Huh.
You don't scratch the plate.
Good. The original formula. And it works wonders. You can also clean the rubbers
We gotta
with
go
it.
back to Steve. We gotta touch it up.
Yeah. Steven's always putting stuff in. He's in the background. But it polishes the play field, and then you can use lemon pledge to clean it up. Right, Steven? He talks back to me all the time. But anyway, a lot of you, we found out at the last show, were surprised that a product made in the early 60s does such a good job. I will tell you that we got that idea from John Sheehan, who worked for me. He came to work for me when he was 65 years old. He had just been laid off from active amusements because he was too old. And he told me he had a lot of years left in him. And he stayed with me until he turned 89. He didn't make my required retirement, which is 100. So he didn't get the pension. But, you know, you have to stick around. But he was there for a long time afterwards, and he introduced the Gojo because he would clean games that were being shipped overseas through Mondial. A lot of the Gottlieb and machines got shipped overseas after they were used here in America for a number of years. And they were stamped when they, you may find these lockdown bars are stamped for overseas, Mondial, right on the, it's impressed into the steel of the lockdown bars. And that was really good. He got very involved with it. A lot of these things, though, would happen where you take a few steps forward, you always have 1 or 2 steps back. So you have to kind of feel your way. The Gojo we've been using for years safely. It has not hurt the fields, hasn't damaged them. And we use lemon pledge to wax them. And the customer can do that too. Once again, I get all these emails. But, you know, that's how we do it. Now, you also have to think about the painting on the game. Keeping the play fields and painting clean. And Stephen is our expert working on this really terrible Mars God of War, we had to take everything off the play field. And this is a 1981, I think. 81, 82. What do you think, Stephen? Are you going to be able to
Touch it.
break?
Touch up the planet, it's still wet, don't touch it.
It was all worn out. That was all bare wood.
Yes, take the pop bumpers off, makes it a lot easier to paint in there.
And that's the beginning of it. And then, of course, all new parts.
No, we didn't have to peel anything off.
Now, Stephen doesn't put the parts on. Other people do. He just does the paint. This cabinet was
First
horrific.
stage would be cleaning it, the second stage would be touching it up. Trying to make it look pretty. Trying to bring it back to its original state.
Now, oddly enough, this was the best
Everything
of
is
three.
bigger than you. Everything.
Everything, yes. We have 2 more of these that I have in my parts sale.
Yep.
We just couldn't do it. But Stephen did a nice job on that one. He's now actually finishing the cabinet. The customer, of course, is screaming, "Where's my Mars?" I said, well, it's not ready yet. But
Speaking of screaming, we're getting some shouting in the chat for perhaps a little bit more volume.
more
We're
volume.
able to
Well,
give us a little bit more. I don't know if we're in the yellow or
I could speak also through this. This one sounds better. The big mic.
Yeah. And Todd, if you want to test your mic, you can thank the Pollock family for their $5 super chat.
Thank you very much.
Have a
Appreciate
good
it.
evening.
We're streaming live on this TNT channel too, which is nice. By the way, last night and today's video will be 12 noon tomorrow. It'll be on our channel. So actually, at some point, I'll film everybody here. So we'll have that edited. I edit upstairs in the hotel room at 1 a.m. and then it uploads overnight. So that way we could be ready to go. People want stuff quick. Interestingly enough, we have some footage, and I want to turn the microphone over to this young man on the end, Chuck. How about you do your segment?
It's my turn?
It is.
Todd, you love hearing yourself talk. I can't believe you're giving me the microphone. Well, it's been a long, strange trip, as I suspect many of you know, since you've been along for the journey with TNT Amusements. And one of the issues that comes up constantly with TNT is when we put a game up for sale, whether that's as is or whether it's fully restored. One of the first questions we always get is, why does it cost so much money? Oh my goodness, you're charging $3,100 for a Mars God of War? I can go on Facebook and I can get one for $900 or $1,400. Well,
Plus tax and freight.
of course. Well, as everybody in this room probably appreciates, but some people don't appreciate, there's an awful lot that goes into these games before they go out the door. And I gotta be honest, even if you're buying a game from TNT that's as is, what that typically means is that all the beautification of the game hasn't been done. So maybe LEDs aren't in it, they probably are. Maybe the playfield's not repainted, it's probably been touched up. Maybe the cabinet hasn't been redone, but it probably has. But electronically, the game goes out completely rock solid and as close to bulletproof as we can make it. You know what? Let me do this. Can we cue up a video?
This is what I was talking about. Okay, let me take this Paragon for just a moment. Okay, back in the day, what did you
Love
sell
Paragon.
Can you put it full frame?
Exactly. And what's it going for now? Right. And so people hear that
We're mission cues, Todd.
This is so expensive. I can't believe how much this machine has gone up in value. Why is it going up in value so much? Is it rare?
Yes.
You can find these.
No.
They're fairly regularly available. Is it an amazing machine that's unique and has all this wonderful stuff to it? Well, I personally think this plays fabulous, but
It is
it's
a
not
wonderful
that
machine.
unique. I mean,
I disagree.
There's nothing really innovative about this.
I disagree.
The problem is that just like everything else, the cost associated with dealing with this machine
We haven't
has
started
gone
yet.
up significantly. I mean, look at all the work that goes into this just to get it running. I mean, it's running okay now, a couple of bulbs out. I know we've had problems starting this one up because this one just came in, but just the cost associated with getting this machine up and running is significantly higher than it was 40 years ago when this thing was out there. You used to send these machines out, because I know you've told me, where you would say, we wipe them down, maybe you'd do a little bit of touch up, you'd send them on their way. And that was great. I mean, because you didn't have to do anything. The machine was 4, 5, 6 years old. That was easy. And you could charge the kind of prices you charged earlier. Now look at this. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but I just bumped this machine and it no longer is lit because it's got power supply issues. It may have a board issue. Replacing a board is going to cost you a few $100. Replacing a power supply is going to cost you even more than that. And that doesn't even account for the labor that goes into this. I mean, we saw this a little bit earlier when Scott was talking. You know, this is kind of amusing that this foil is over the spot here. But to pay someone, to pay the amazing Steven, for example, to touch up this playfield, look at all the work that's involved here. Look at this cabinet. Look at this. There is a lot going on here to get this thing back to where it was and what it could look like. Right, Steven?
That's all right.
And Steven works on
I want to know what the silver tape on the
it didn't work, so he decided to fix it. Now, I have a question for you. Are we going to be able to pull this tape off and not damage the paint?
Absolutely not.
Exactly. And so there is a perfect example of what Steven needs to do when these machines come in here. The spinner works. Look at that.
Only you would care about the spinner right now.
And the rubbers are in good shape. Look at us. They're fabulous. Look at them. Look, they're amazing. They're wonderful. Too bad we're not doing the bargain basement or the best offer sale in the world. We can sell them. But, I mean, you can attest firsthand to what goes into these machines and the cost associated with it. So the next time you want to complain about how much a machine is, take a moment and think about what's going into its restoration.
A ton of work goes into everything that we do here. People have no idea.
And
hours spent.
And am I wrong in saying that oftentimes there's no way you're billing every hour that's worked on this machine?
No, we can't.
Exactly.
We can't.
Exactly. So, I mean, Mars God of War is another example. I mean, look at this. How?
I've already spent hours on the playfield, and the cabinet hasn't even been touched yet. That's going to be.
And how many hours is the playfield? I'm sorry, it's the cabinet.
That's at least a day.
Right. Absolutely.
Probably, and my days are 9 or 10 hours every time I'm here, every day.
Exactly. And you will get this thing, because I know your work firsthand. It's amazing. You will get this thing working unbelievably well. Not only will it work fabulous, but it will look fabulous. And I know how meticulous you are.
That someone else did.
Oh, you mean that's not supposed to be there? Wow.
No, that's what our competitors do.
Exactly. Now, what about the high speed? The high speed. Did you touch up this cabinet? I can't remember.
I absolutely did.
I was going to say, it looks perfect is right. And that's the kind of product that you get out of here. But it doesn't show up without a whole heck of a lot of work. Look at the playfield, look at the lighting, look at the back box. Look at everything that has gone into making this thing damn near perfect. Unbelievable. Just like the camera work. Everything from mylaring to doing the cabinet to the firelights. This thing is